At 10 we have the brash and out there Dark Rebel by John Varvatos. I've heard this referred to as Jack Sparrow in a bottle. You can kind of imagine that, like dark leather jacket for the winter type of a scent. I know he's a pirate, so you know it's the kind of thing you can imagine a pirate wearing, I guess. So you have notes like rum, sugarcane, leather and tobacco leaf in here. A nice brash, masculine, in-your-face type of a scent. Sadly discontinued, but quite a fun one if you can get hold of it. At 9 we have Luminous Night by Dolce and Gabbana. Another one that's sadly discontinued, but I wanted to include this for the very unique date note. So you get hit with that kind of spicy date note straight away, which gives us a uniqueness for sure. So in the top you have black pepper, basil and bergamot. In the mid you get dates, geranium and sage. And in the base you have amber, incense and sandalwood. A really nice smoky Middle Eastern type of a scent with quite strong sage and dates. Quite piercing in a way and sharp, so this isn't for everybody. It reminds me a bit of the new Stronger With You sandalwood, which I've done a review on. I definitely picked up similarities between these two, so you might find that as a replacement for this if you can't get this at a decent price. But yeah, I thought it deserved its place in this list. At 8 we have the very strong Red Tobacco by Mancera. Certainly fits the description as a bit out there, this one. So in the top you have cinnamon, oud, incense, saffron, nutmeg, green apple and white pear. In the mid you get quite heavy patchouli as well as jasmine. And in the base you get a nice vanilla dry down as well as tobacco, amber, sandalwood, gaiac wood, white musk and vetiver. So yeah, this the main thing this is spoken of is the performance, and I can go along with that. It's extremely strong. Definitely go a lot on the sprays here. But in terms of a unique powerhouse that's a bit different, yeah, this one deserved to be on this list. At 7, I had to include one of the Black Orchids by Tom Ford. The parfum here is the only one I own these days. I find it's the more masculine version. I like the addition of the rum note. So in the top you have truffle and plum. In the mid you get rum, ylang ylang and Black Orchid. And in the base you get quite heavy patchouli. Performance very good. I find the parfum is nicer to wear than the EDP and EDT. It stays closer to the skin, really. I find the others can be a little bit much. I think this is nicely smoothed out, so if I was to recommend the Black Orchid, I would say the parfum personally. It's never been my absolute favourite DNA. I think Noir de Noir is, if you want that kind of truffle patchouli mix, that's a nicer fragrance, done a bit smoother. This is alright, you know, it's nice for what it is. It smells kind of like a chocolate orange to me. Like if you imagine what a chocolate orange type thing tastes like, that it's got that kind of smell to it. I quite like it for its uniqueness and its boldness. I think Black Orchid was the first release from Tom Ford, so they obviously want to make a statement like straight away. It's iconic for a reason, and I wanted to include it on this list. At 6 we have Apple Brandy on the Rocks by Kilian. A real uniqueness here, as it smells like apple brandy on the rocks basically. I mean, who would have thought that in a fragrance? So in the top you have cardamom and bergamot. In the mid you have apple, rum, brandy, pineapple, vanilla and oak moss. And in the base you have cedar and ambroxan. So just reading out those middle notes, apple, rum, brandy, pineapple, vanilla, moss. I mean, to me that immediately sounds appealing. A nice uniqueness to it. If you want to smell like a nice, fresh, boozy apple type of a scent, check this one out. Very fresh, very wearable. I like this one a lot. At 5 we're discussing By The Fireplace by Maison Margiela. Very much replicates that By The Fireplace type of a smell. So in the top you have cloves, pink pepper and orange blossom. In the mid you have chestnut, gaiac wood and juniper. And in the base you get vanilla, Peru balsam and cashmeran. So it does replicate that smell very well. It's kind of a burnt wood type of a scent. For me it's very much one you have to be in the mood for. Like if you want that kind of cozy December evening type of a feel, maybe you're watching a movie with like a nice cup of cocoa or something like that. It's ideal for that kind of feel. But in terms of practicality for everyday use, it's not really for me. But in terms of a special occasion fragrance, I do like By The Fireplace. At 4 we're going with Amore Caffe by Mancera. So to put it bluntly, this smells like a vanilla latte that you may get from Starbucks, for example. So in the top here you have coffee and amaretto. In the mid you have ice cream and speculoos. And in the base you have brown sugar, vanilla and ambergris. So yeah, it's ultra sweet. I mean, this isn't for the faint-hearted, really. If you're not crazy about sweet fragrances, this will be an avoid. I mean, ice cream is a note. Yeah, that kind of sums it up. So it's like an ice cream, coffee, brown sugar, very, very sweet fragrance. So if you want to smell a bit gimmicky and smell like a vanilla latte, check out Amore Caffe. At 3, we have Magnefique Secretions. I hope I'm saying that right. It's a strange fragrance. It's nowhere near as bad as I expected. From what you read online, some of the stuff this is compared to, people say it smells like blood and saliva and stuff like that. Like, I was expecting something ultra weird. For me, it's not quite as bad as I thought, you know, not quite as weird as I thought, but it is slightly out there. So the notes here are seaweed, milk, coconut, iris, opopanox, and sandalwood. Kind of a weird smell. I don't really get what people are saying, I must say. Like, it is a bit weird and a bit out there, so it does still deserve its place on this list. It's not one I'd recommend. I don't think it smells particularly nice. It does smell slightly weird. I don't really get those comparisons people are saying. It's just a slightly odd blend of things. It smells quite synthetic, not particularly high quality, not the most enjoyable, and not the best performer either. I was expecting this to be like really loud and brash and like, you know, purposefully off-putting, like as its gimmick, but to me it's more subtle than I expected, and I don't pick up those crazy notes some people are shouting about. So it's odd, but it's not quite as crazy as I expected. In number 3, we've got Magnefique Secretions. At 2, we're going with Tonka Cola by Mancera, a very realistic interpretation of what a Coca-Cola smells like. I like this one a lot. So in the top you have cinnamon, cherry, lemon and nutmeg. In the mid you get Coca-Cola, as well as Indonesian patchouli leaf and orange blossom. And in the base you have a nice transition into tonka bean, vanilla, benzoin, as well as labdanum. So a nice spicy fragrance this, with a Coca-Cola-like opening, and it dries down into that vanilla-ish tonka feel. But yeah, it's very gimmicky, very out there, very unusual, but I say that in a good way. I really do like Tonka Cola. If you want to smell like a Coca-Cola soda, which isn't a sentence I ever really thought I'd be saying, definitely check this one out. I like Tonka Cola a lot. And at number 1, this is certainly out there and gimmicky. We have Montale's Chocolate Greedy. So if I was to summarize, I would say this smells like Cocoa Pops. You basically smell like a chocolate cake, like literally like a chocolate cake, not just like a tint of it. If you want to smell literally like Cocoa Pops chocolate cereal, then check this one out. I'm not sure it's the most practical personally. If you want something a bit out there and gimmicky though, and fun, then go for this one. Performance is very good. And also it's at the cheap end of niche pricing. The Montale line in general is. It's like, I think, the sister brand of Mancera, I believe. But yeah, the notes in here are cacao, vanilla, tonka bean, bitter orange, dried fruits, and coffee. But yeah, to summarize, like I say, it smells like Cocoa Pop cereal. If you want to smell like that, then by all means check this one out. Performance is good. Just be aware of it not being the most practical in a lot of cases, or to a lot of people, but if that description ticks the box for you, then go for this. It's a bit weird and out there and fun, and I'm quite glad to have it in my collection for that reason. What do you think, guys? I'd be interested to hear your thoughts as always. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.